Soulful shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's some soulful shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. Woo! I mean, like, we can put all that clown shit away. There's some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thoughts and harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
What's happening, people? What's going on, man? It's G. We're back in the building. You know the vibes already, man. You know the ties. We're here to do match reaction for the game against Arsenal. Well, UK time this morning. That was a bit of a late one, man. These games, man. Big up to everybody who watches, you know, Premier League football across the world, you know, because I don't know how you lot do this. I really don't know how. But I guess if you're used to it, then it's just one of them things, man. But Jesus Christ, the way I was tired that second half as well, because they're so boring to watch. Like I end up just drifting off or having to try and keep myself busy, man. So, you know, it is what it is, man. But big up to obviously everybody watching over here on YouTube. As I said, guys, please make sure you do smash that like, share, and subscribe. We are close to that 1,500 target, man. 1,500 subscribers. Big up to everybody who has subscribed already, man. Much love and appreciation. And yeah, make sure you head on over to Keeping It GTV and subscribe over there. You know, we've got some different kind of content, so hopefully you guys will love it. But you know, we're done with all the stupid formalities. Big up Steve in the building, guys. Head on over to Strasbourg Steve. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, please. Big up Hakeem. He's saying he didn't watch the game, just here for the vibes. No, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Obviously, I don't want to make this too long. I kind of just want to obviously just, you know, go through the game just in terms of general thoughts. And then obviously we'll look at the starting 11 in terms of how I felt like each player, you know, kind of played. Don't think I'll do like ratings and stuff. I don't really care about that, but just, you know, really talk about each player, you know, good points, bad points, and then obviously the team as a whole. And then of course, you know, taking a look at our next game against Manchester United. Big up Philippe. Oh no, Liverpool deciding to defend and not be opening up like the red light district. Yeah, man, now of course. But listen, look, we faced against Arsenal, beat them 2-1. An overall look at the game. First half, I think it was just like the Betis game. First half, I felt there was, you know, there was some good football, you know, in what we were trying to do. You know, good passages of play, good patterns of play, however you want to kind of word it. Yeah, it was all good. It was all good. You know, there were moments I felt, you know, in that half. And I'll talk about it in a sec. But you know, with certain players, I'm just like, okay, Fez, yeah, this player might not be it, or this player may need to test, you know, may need to be, you know, upgraded in certain positions, etc. You know, one thing I will say coming out of that game, the second half, I'm not really going to talk about too much. The only thing I'll say about the second half is that I felt like Liverpool defended well as a unit. We weren't threatening. We didn't look like we would score, but we did, you know, limit Arsenal's kind of ability to kind of break through us, which is something I did really like to see. And again, it's only pre-season, so it's good to kind of see, you know, different kind of plays and, you know, etc., etc. What I will say though, when we're talking about like players and people on transfers and stuff like that, it's funny because after watching that game specifically, and I kind of saw it a little bit against Betis, but after watching this game, I'm more convinced than ever that the only way Liverpool will be able, in my opinion, again, just my opinion, the only way I see Liverpool having a good season, you're going to have to sign. You're really, really going to have to sign. I think it's quite evident in terms of the profile of players. Even when, you know, the other guys come back, so the Van Dijks, the Trents, Gakpo, all of these guys, even when they come back, I think Liverpool are lacking a few profiles, you know, in order to make this system really, really work. One area I did look at was centre back. I think that's going to be interesting as the season goes on, like really how that kind of works in terms of the build-up play. I'm very intrigued to see that. Of course, I know, you know, Van Dijk is a given regardless who partners him. I'd love to see that. But it's just going to be interesting. I think that's more, even if you don't upgrade in terms of buying a first choice centre back, so to speak, to play alongside Van Dijk, just watch that space. Just remember, I said this today on the 1st of August, just watch that space. I think that's going to be an area That's going to be interesting. Left back, big up Angel. 100%. I think that's another area I look at. I've said it 100 times. Like it's just not an area I'm comfortable with. Obviously we'll talk about the players in a second, but it's just not really an area that I'm 100% comfortable with. I definitely think that the DM position. Again, we'll talk about Szoboszlai's performance, but again, thinking about Szoboszlai, is he a DM? Is he a centre mid? Is he an attacking mid? Can he play on the wing? We're starting to get a James Milner, if I'm being totally honest with you. The attacking midfield positions going to be interesting. Carvalho obviously out there on the left wing again. Guys, let me know in the chat, how do you think he kind of did? Obviously Diogo Jota coming back, a bit rusty and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think that there's certain profiles in the team. You can see the way that we kind of build up from the back. It's very De Zerbi-esque. So for all those who didn't want De Zerbi, this is his football. This is literally his style of football. And it's just like I used to say about De Zerbi when he's over there at Brighton. You get better players. It should work out in almost the way that we've been seeing it for Slot in pre-season in terms of defensively, in terms of that kind of structure. So yeah, it's very De Zerbi-esque, players taking forever on the ball, kind of trying to draw the opposition in, and then of course then we can then pop it about, players actually making off the ball movement, something that I was crying out for, under Klopp, because I felt like players are quite static. If it wasn't a through ball in on goal, I didn't feel like the players were really moving around to create problems, because once you start creating problems, creating angles, you can see it as we saw, with that first goal. Players move, and I'm not asking for like crazy, shift of movements. It's sometimes I felt like it was quite basic that, such and such isn't sidestepping to the left, or isn't just pulling off, to the defender's left or the defender's right or whatever, just to create an angle, just to give them options, but also allow for the the opposition to have to think, who do I get here? Who do I need to mark? Who do I need to, press? It's little things like that. And of course, I know these guys are probably working on this, quite a lot in training, of course, obviously, because it's, new tactics and stuff like that. But it's just little things like that that we're seeing. And listen, look, I know everyone's, of course, listen, and rightly so, I can tell that we must have been in the mud watching Klopp's football, because even this, I feel like, yeah, this could still be better. But obviously, that's just more down to profile of players. But you can see immediately, this is what I was trying to explain to people in terms of, once we've got the players to play a certain style of football, especially in the last couple of seasons, and more notably last season, with getting like McAllisters, the Gravenberches, and people of that kind of ilk. Why not play to those kind of strengths? And you are starting to slowly see why playing this way may benefit Liverpool, in the long run. And of course, in that second half, as I mentioned before, you saw that Liverpool were, being a bit more defensively resolute. Like I said, we weren't a threat. I didn't think we was going to score. To be fair, Arsenal had a better second half than we did. They looked more threatening and stuff like that. But we were limiting them, though. I didn't feel like, they were, at times they cut us open, but I didn't feel like it was all the time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And the way that we were defending, players coming back, banks of 4, banks of 5 and stuff like that, I really, really liked it, in that sense. So overall, it was a really good game to watch, in terms of, okay, we've upped the level of opposition. Obviously, Betis' first game, just kind of showing us what it's all about. And then in this game, stronger opposition, Arsenal playing a relatively strong side in this game. So yeah, man, for me, I don't know about you guys in the chat, and I'll run through some of the comments. Yeah, for me, I felt like, yeah, it was a good game to really start looking at, what is it that Liverpool really need? Is it just a simple case of, like a lot of people are saying, oh, once we get such and such back, then it's just going to be, that's it. Yeah, once you get McAllister back and Gakpo, I don't know if you guys really feel that way. Let me know, of course, in the chat. I personally think that this showed me that we really need those profiles. I think my prediction on where Liverpool would finish will be based on if they get the certain profiles that I think, anyway, that we need for this system to really, really work long term. This is all great and stuff, and obviously the intensity isn't really there in these kind of games, but you start now facing Crystal Palace away at Selhurst Park when they're pressing you like no man's business. Is this all going to still work when we're on game week 17? You know what I mean? So I think getting the certain profiles in, I just think is so vital in order to, allow this slot ball to really come into full effect. But I'll run through some of the comments. And again, big up everybody who's inside the building this morning, man. Again, man, much love, man. Much love, man. You people are, you're good people, man. Trust. Obviously, we went through that before. Steve is saying, I'm excited to watch you guys play this season. Big up Lee Wiz Kid. Hope you're doing good. We know I'm just happy seeing triangles and less hoofs. Yeah, it's funny. Again, we'll talk about that in a sec. Philippe, if LFC bring in a DM, maybe another centre back, and Slot actually continues his philosophy, it's a long day for us rivals. Great passing and control, unusual to see at Liverpool. Yeah, because we was playing this. Anyways, Salah was effective. Maybe what happens when a coach demands his attackers don't simply attack, but actually play with the team and attack as a unit. Hey, it is what it is. Big up Ali in the building. Angel saying the youths defended well in the second half. Yep, they did. He didn't even start Endo. Kind of says to me as a neutral, he wants a DM. Yeah, you can kind of see it anyway because of the way that we're trying to build up from the back. Because even when Endo came on, I felt like he was just second to everything. You know, tackles here, tackles that, which I get because he's that type of, defensive midfielder. But late to this, late to that, passing, I didn't feel like it was that great. Just little things. Again, little things, not major, not like he was catastrophically poor or anything like that. It was just like, okay, this is quite obvious, and this is what I'm saying. Watching a game like that, and obviously I'm hoping we see the same against Manchester United. Watching these kind of games, it's like you can just see it. Like you can see there might be some positions in the team that are okay. That position doesn't need to be touched, or we can do with what we've got there. There are some positions though that just seem to me that they're so key in order for us to to be able to progress. Angel saying we need a left back. Big up M Tom Mizzy. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Ali saying sign the damn players, FSG. Yeah, word. We're better DM. We look damn good. Klopp wanted to turn Szoboszlai into Henderson. Slot wants to turn him into Milner. I know. This is what I'm saying. We'll talk about it in a sec, man. This is what I'm saying. It's kind of crazy. Richard's asking me, do you think we will sign players in the summer? I think Liverpool signed one player at this rate. I think we signed one player at the moment. Obviously, I'm hoping that changes, but I think we signed one player. Facts. De Zerbi, though, is very defensively clueless at times. That's why Slot is a good choice. I disagree. I just think it's the personnel. I honestly believe it's just the personnel. I think because at times, man looked resolute up against the big teams. Up against the Arsenals or the whoever, the Cities or whatever, he looked resolute. But then, of course, you're right. In other games, Jesus Christ, they lost like, was it 4-5-0 in other games? Like it was 2 hit and miss. But I do put that down to personnel. And of course, Brighton are not Liverpool. So their second string of players are like not good. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So the players that they were playing in certain instances, you're just like, Jesus Christ, like you could never play with a team like this and still get the football that you're looking for. But then that's, of course, where I look at it and say, you do need to change it up in certain instances, 100%. And I think at times that might have been, his downfall. You're going to watch the Man United versus Liverpool game on Saturday? Yeah. I believe so. If it's Saturday going into Sunday, then yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. But yeah, I should be watching that. Is Arne Slot a yes man to FSG? I don't know. We'll wait and see. By the time the window ends, we'll know the answers to some of these questions. Big up Nerd Beats. Make sure you guys head on over there as well. Subscribe, please. Szoboszlai's energy in deep areas suits him. Plus, if the ball drops him outside the box, he can use his shooting from distance much more. I don't trust his shooting from distance. I'll be honest with you. I've not yet. So far, we've not seen that from Szoboszlai. Enough to not rely on it, but enough to use it. I've not seen it enough to be like, yeah, I want you shooting from distance. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, Christian, but different Slot can set his team up to be defensively solid. De Zerbi can't do that. He can at times. I've seen him do it many a time. But like I said, he just didn't do it enough. And there were moments. That's where I look at De Zerbi and say, bro, at times, man, like, just chill for a second. You don't have to do it the whole second half, for example, like how Liverpool did. Like we chilled for the whole second half, but you can just do it for a little bit. That's where I say is the difference. Like he only ever did it like really if it was like towards the ending of a game and it's like, okay, you know what, we're 2-1 up. Let me just, hold on to the lead. That's what used to frustrate me about De Zerbi. But I'll be honest, this is De Zerbi football. Like in essence, this is very, very much like De Zerbi football, especially in the build-up. Defensively, no, you can say that's someone else, but defensively, it's almost like an Arsenal kind of thing in terms of the way that we're so resolute in the in transition and stuff like that. We're not getting caught out as much. We were still getting caught out at times in that first half, and again we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's like, well, we know anyway. Arne Slot, he takes from all of these managers, the Pep Guardiolas, and all these other kind of guys. So it's interesting. Maybe this is all just a mashup of one. Who knows? Liverpool might cook. Yeah, I might be sitting here come the end of my prediction, and obviously we'll do it closer towards the beginning of the season. My prediction for the season, I'm hoping it's out the window. I'm hoping Liverpool cook to a different degree, and I'm like, nah, this football that we're watching, crazy. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. But of course, let's just wait and see what's up. Big up Anfield, lad. Hope you're doing well. Steve saying, yo, you're right. Arne Slot does like to have his players build up like Roberto De Zerbi. Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's just so obvious. You can, like, Liverpool never ever used to just, you never ever saw Kelleher or one of the centre backs just chilling, almost putting their foot on the ball and waiting. Well, we don't do that. Do you know what I mean? We never do that. And I'm not saying De Zerbi was the first person, by the way. I know someone's going to come out of here and say, no, but there was this manager I'm not saying he was the first person, but in terms of over here in the Premier League, he was really the first one I saw when he was getting his players to do that. I remember Levi Colwill, just chilling. I even saw Levi Colwill even bringing it to the under-21s. And I used to think, right, that's crazy. Like, his style of play is so effective that you've now gone away from that and you're still doing the same things, kind of thing. So over here in England, I'm not saying he's the first one. I don't want anyone to kill it for me. Salah versus Zinchenko is like Mike Tyson versus Delia Smith. Yeah, Zinchenko was crap. I feel sorry for Arsenal. I mean, you got Calafiori now, which makes sense. You've also got Jurriën Timber, who I know can play left back as well. Like I said, my predictions, you guys will see it, man. I think Arsenal, listen, the game is the game last night. And I think Arsenal could have done better in certain instances. Martinelli, specifically, at times I felt like we were starting to overrun you in that midfield, and I don't think Arsenal really had the solutions, in certain moments. But there were cases where I was like, "Ish, better ball or a better decision making from Martinelli," which I always think is his problem. And Arsenal could have probably scored about 2 more goals, if I'm being honest, in that first half, which changes the complexion, kind of thing. So again, I'm not saying Liverpool were flawless, because I don't think we was, but it is what it is. Big up Moshin. Thank you for the super chat. Much love and appreciation. What players would you sign for slot ball? Jesus, I don't even know. I think I've done a show on this before. But I'll be looking at as an example, I'll be looking at players like Zubimendi to potentially play in that kind of pivot position. I mean, I would love for Liverpool to sign like a Bruno from Newcastle. Like, these are the type of players that I would look at. Who we go and sign, I really don't know. I really, really don't know. But those are the type of players. Bruno, Bruno, Zubimendi. Obviously, Mikel Merino's gone he's going to Arsenal, so that kind of rules him out. Because now it seems like we're not looking for a Fofana type of, Fofana is one of the players I really wanted for Liverpool, but we're not looking for that anymore. We're not looking for I want you to be a defensive midfielder, but you can pass every now and again. No, we seem like we want someone who can, like a Bruno. I think Bruno is actually, for me, is the perfect choice. Like, someone who can still do the tough tackling stuff, someone who can still get about the pitch, but Jesus Christ, on the ball, Bruno Guimaraes he's really, really good. He's got really, really high quality when he's on the ball, kind of thing. But he can still do the, the dirty side of the game if you need him to just sit, and you need him to, somewhat protect the back four. But then I'm not going to be, uncomfortable with seeing Bruno further up the pitch, as opposed to an Endo. I'm uncomfortable seeing him further up the pitch, but I don't mind him further back because he can defend, defensively, kind of thing. So I think that's how I kind of look at it. Bruno, for me, would be, in my opinion, would be Liverpool's perfect signing in that position. But I know we're not going to sign him. So if you guys know of anybody else, who's in that kind of similar mold, then fair. I would have signed Calafiori because I think we need a left back. I honestly believe we really need a left back. You could look at Aït-Nouri. He might be someone potentially that you look at in that position. Savage is always talking about Anthony Robinson. I was looking at him the other day. Maybe, he's got the energy to get up and down the field. Technically, I think Aït-Nouri's better technically. So between those two, if you couldn't go out and get I don't know, a Davis or who's the left back at Inter Milan? I can't remember his name. Blonde dude. Yeah, him. Always got the low socks and that. can't remember his name, man. It's literally gone out of my head. But yeah, him. He's another one I would like as well. But yeah, those are the kind of players. Centre back, I would look at potentially. I like Ignacio. I think centre back. You guys can see it, bro. Like you see at that centre back position, the build-up play was calm at times. Obviously for the goal, Salah scoring, blah blah blah. It was really good build-up, brilliant. But you know, other times in the game, I was like, yeah, you're gonna need comfortable centre back. This is what I said the other day. Liverpool are going to need comfortable centre backs. They're gonna need it. You are going to need to be able to kick ball, because if you don't, you guys already can see, like we see with the Zerbi's football, when one pass doesn't go astray, or when there's a player who's just not as comfortable on the ball, it just goes wishy-washy, bro. It goes so wishy-washy, you know. So yeah, another position I would strengthen, even though it's not a priority, I'd strengthen striker. I think if Liverpool got a box striker, which I don't think we have, if we got that, Jesus Christ, I think, like it is. Like, if you just got Isak, who I know he likes to drift out to the left at times, but he is someone I think can just stay in the width of the penalty box. I feel like if you just get someone like that, who in and around the box, in the box, he's just like Ruud van Nistelrooy-esque, not as good, but he's of that kind of, he can get to that level where the guy can just finish. Like in all types of situations, he can just finish. You see what Jota did when Jota hit the post? I just started busting up because I was like, yeah, that's Liverpool's attackers. Now I know Jota's rusty, and I know everyone's calm. I'm not getting onto him, but that's Liverpool attackers. You know, like I would just expect you to finish that, weaker foot or not. I just expect you to put that in the back of the net. But yeah, it just made me laugh anyway. It just made me laugh. But yeah, those are the kind of players. But I'll talk more on that as well, Mulsheen. And again, big up for the super chat. I'll speak more on that maybe closer towards the beginning of the Premier League, if we still haven't signed anybody, and we're looking to face Ipswich with the players that we've got. But big up for you, big up for that. Richard's asking, why isn't Ryan Gravenberch not playing? Is he going or staying? I'm sure he's not back yet. People in the chat, let me know. I'm sure he's not back yet. Something tells me that he's not back as of yet, but I'm not 100% sure. Big up Carl, by the way. Much love for the super chat as well, man. Big up you guys, man. You guys are showing love this morning, man. So much appreciated. Hey, my guy, if you don't mind, send me the link. Let's discuss the game. Yes. Message me on Twitter. Message me on Twitter if you can. Message me on Twitter. But yeah, big up for the super chat though, bro. Simicast is really struggling for us. Yeah, I hear it. I fully hear it. Philippe, the thing is, De Zerbi didn't like to adapt to the circumstances. Slot adapted v Betis when you had no strikers, but had Jota this game and immediately reverted back, more tactically flexible. Yeah, totally agree. He's showing me that he's tactically flexible now. Anfield, interesting how Zobo and Jones were dropping deep during the build-up. Christie, big up. The team is evolving. Ibi remains a question mark for me. Likewise, I don't think this role benefits him. We need a 6 to take the pressure off of him. I agree. Andy saying De Zerbi is like Brendan Rodgers. He can get a mediocre team kicking ball. When it works, but when it doesn't, it stinks. Let's see what he does for Marseille this season. Don't sleep on him. Yeah, I've still got stocks in De Zerbi. Let's see what he does with Marseille this season. Seth Vandenberg actually played well. Guessing you might keep him. Nah, I'd still sell. Richard, will we win trophies and challenge with Arne Slot? I'll leave that one. Agreed with you about De Zerbi. It's more of a personal issue. Nah, I hear it. I know Seth Vandenberg is closer to leaving than staying, but I would like to keep him. I don't see him and Gomez both staying at the club. One of them will go, and it will most likely be Seth. Yeah. Real talk. Just get he's looking decent in preseason. Now you sell him. Who is better, Simicast versus Zinchenko? I don't know. I'm gonna go with Zinchenko. He's got a better body of work, so I'll go with Zinchenko. Just. Lannon, good morning to you. Some of our fans who were rejoicing for the coming back of Michael Edwards and Julian Ward have forgotten how long it took us to win a trophy. I don't have any hope this season with an unknown new manager. I hear it, but I definitely hear this. I definitely hear this. Yeah, I definitely hear this. Arsenal had opportunities in the first half. Yes, they did. They were getting in behind Martinelli versus Bradley. Yeah, that was a long day for Bradley still. We have McAllister who can do that defensively sound, but class in possession. Not as good as Bruno. Nowhere near as good, in my opinion, as Bruno. I'd like Adam Morton or Varela. Not convinced on Varela. Adam Morton, I wouldn't mind him. But I'm not convinced on this Varela guy yet. And I'm not saying because I think he's poor, just haven't seen enough of him yet. I think there's a lot of hype around him, but I haven't seen enough. Can we sell Costas? Erdegaard sent man to the bruv. Erdegaard sent Tsimikas to Azkaban. It was dirty. Like, yeah, it was just dumb. CJ can't play in the pivot. He looked lost. We'll talk about it. Do you like Julian Ward, Michael Edwards, and Richard Hughes? And do I trust Arne Slot? I trust Arne Slot more than I like Ward, Edwards, and Hughes. Is probably how I would word that one. Bajcetic has been underwhelming in pre-season. Fez. I hear it. You know what's mad? You know, if I said this, yeah, people, that man will start, you always, I hear it. I'm not even mad at that. Aït-Nouri is closer to Robbo, won't help us unless we move from inverting. Aït-Nouri is closer to Robbo. Nah, because he's technically better than Robbo and Tsimikas put together, to be honest. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think that. Looking at LFC do business, get me Kone 50 million or Yusuf Fofana. I don't know, man. I don't know if you, and you know I fucks with Yusuf Fofana, by the way. You guys know I've been talking about him for like 2 years now. I just don't know if that might be the right profile. But I'm not going to be mad if Liverpool signed him, though. I'll tell you that. I'd be right. Either Aït-Nouri or Robinson. I think Robinson would be a bit perfect for Klopp. Wharton and Zubimendi would be perfect for the number 6. I'm not buying into this Edison and Varela talk. Yeah. Big up. Honestly, the corners. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay. Federico DeMarco. Thank you. God, I don't know how I didn't remember his name. That's very bad of me. Slot style is very intense. We will need a quality squad or fatigue will be an issue, man. Big up everybody, man. You guys engaging in the chat, man. I'm loving it, man. I can't even lie. I'm actually loving it still. Neil H, Morning G, you are sleeping on Sepp. He has grown up playing Slot's way, the Dutch way. Also, Sepp can play right back. Listen, I'm just saying, he's definitely improved to be the 5th choice. For me, it's just a no-brainer. Do you know what I mean? Like, those are the kind of deals that I just think that as a club, and because of the way that we do business, those are the kind of deals that you just let go, kind of thing. Like, it's not so I say not let go, but those are the kind of deals that you just sell these kind of guys. Like, I honestly just don't see the benefit in, you know, I'm gonna send it to you now, Carl. I just don't see the benefit in keeping these kind of players. Like, what would be, do you know what I mean? Like, I get it, he's doing good in preseason. I hear all of that, but I don't know, like, I've seen Scanlon do good in preseason. I don't hear anyone telling me that Scanlon should be, you know what I mean, a starter in this team. Do you feel me? So yeah, man, I just think with someone like Sepp, he's going to want to play football. He's at that age where he's going to want to play football. I don't see where he's going to get the game time, because who does he go ahead of? If we're going to keep saying he's going to be the cup player, do you really think that he's going to want to stay just to be a cup player? Minamino wanted to bounce after just being a cup guy. That's Minamino, and he wasn't even that good. And do you know what I mean? Like, so I just don't see it. I really just don't see it. Isak is lights out inside the box. It's pretty much automatic at this point. Only thing stopping him is injuries. He's a match winner. Love the guy. I know, man. Come on, man. I would love to have a match winner like that. Even though we got Salah, though. Big up Damien, very impressed with this performance. What I enjoyed the most was how the academy handled the last 15 minutes. Calm, smart ball passing, not taking risks. I'll get less grey hair with slots. Nah, 100%. I'm just waiting for Carl to get in, and then we will go through the players and stuff like that in terms of how we feel like they performed, you know, etc. Off topic, do you see Klopp ever coming out of retirement? Yep. Just don't know where, but I think he would. Unless the problem that like he's got a issue, like health issue, which I hope not, by the way. Yeah, I mean, we got our differences, but come on, man, it's never ever going to be that deep. Like, unless it's something like that, then yeah, I think he'll come out of retirement. I can't see why he wouldn't, to be honest. Maybe like manage like Germany in the future, like for a tournament or two, you know, kind of thing. Just yeah, I think they would want to try and get him in at least anyway. Or maybe if in a couple years or few years time, Borussia Dortmund are doing poorly in the league or something like that, so they're going to need him, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Bajcetic is raw as hell, needs a loan. By the way, Kwanzaa is an absolute beast, just need better defensive reinforcements. This is what I'm saying. If we're saying this and we have Sepp, This is what I'm saying. Like it's things like this. It's things like this. Not sure about Kone. Is he our kind of player? He's like Kovacic. He's great at carrying the ball, but mediocre in the final third and can't really defend. It's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh. Carl, I messaged you on Twitter. I think I just sent you a message still. So yeah, whenever you're ready, jump in and then we'll go through the players. I don't want to sell Set. I think we keep him and get a DM according to Fab. Another signing, either defense or attack. I hear it, guys. Listen, if you guys want to keep it, like, listen, I'm not saying don't. If you want to keep him, keep him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to get mad at it. I just think, for me, it's I definitely sell. Liverpool should get Due, Aït-Nouri, Alvarez or Gomez, and again try get Man City Alvarez. Yeah, I hear it. Did you see the look on Carvalho's face when he got subbed off? Nah. Why was he vexed? He's playing out there on the left wing again. He might have been a little piece vexed. Did he catch any of the games in the Olympics? Their young Japanese captain is my watch. Just moved to Europe, quite recent. Can play 6 and 8. Nigerian descent, apparently. I haven't really watched any of the Olympics in general. I'll be honest. For some reason, I just keep like anytime I tune into it, it's always something I don't care about. But I haven't watched it, by the way. Thomas. Yeah, I'm gonna tune in though. I'm definitely tuning into that France versus Argentina game. I can tell you that for free. I'm sorry, but Sepp did not play the Dutch way at Mainz. He was good at Mainz, but good lord, preseason hype is crazy. This is what I'm saying. The preseason thing, for like, just go a bit overboard with it at times. Like, I'm like, I don't really know about all of that. Like, I'm not really convinced in certain aspects. But listen, if it puts him in the shop window, I'm happy with that boy. I'd sell ASAP. Inacio Aït-Nouri would get us cooking. Due, Alvarez, Gomez. I hear it. I also think, big up Aslan. I also think our fan base is way too whiny when it comes to signing right now. We have the GOAT Edwards and Fabrizio's statement on us signing 2 or 3 signings in August. I think it's just more about why do you need to wait till August? Like, why couldn't you have done that in July? Get the players integrated into the way that you want to play. So then it also allows for when the guys do come back, you can then see the bigger picture. Whereas now I think you're more going to be quite reactive to what's going to happen moving forward. If that's the way I'm looking at it anyway, is that Liverpool are now going to be a reactive, because when the players all come back, so the Van Dijks, Nunez, Gatpos, when these guys come back, you're then going to look at everything and then judge it. I'm like, you could have really and truly judged it from before, in my personal opinion. I really don't believe in the assessing the squad thing to this extent anyway. I find it hard to believe anyway. I really find it hard to believe. I've never seen it before. So maybe that's why. I'm one of those, I need to, seeing is believing. I'm one of them type of people. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So for when I'm seeing it like this, I've never seen this before, ever. So, that'll be interesting to see. What I really like is we press, but we don't press non-stop. We pick our spots. And when we are defending, we give the other team less options as possible. Let's get into it. Carl, let me see if I have a message. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to run through it because I want to try and finish up relatively soon. Big up everybody, by the way, as I said in the chat. So let's go through some of the players, or we'll go through the first 11. Kelleher, I thought he was poor in the game, holding on to the ball too long. Holding on to the ball too long. Didn't look that comfortable when he was getting pressed, in the game. I felt anyway. Passing wasn't really that great from Kelleher. He only completed 50% of the passes that he did try. Only 2 out of 21 long balls. He was trying to go long quite a few times. And again, I just wasn't comfortable. He almost just looked like once Jesus kind of pressed him that first time, that was it for him. Like, he just kept getting shook every single bloody time. It was starting to get a little bit funny, when I was watching Kelleher. But yeah, and I agree with what Ali's saying. Big up, Carl. Love for joining in.
Yeah, big up.
I agree with what Ali's saying. I thought he was our worst player, man. But what are you telling me though, Carl, man, in regards to Kelleher? Yeah, chat to us about the game.
Before that, let's do the checkup, man. Good morning. It's good morning.
No, how can I forget? Sorry, man. Good morning, bro.
Good morning,
man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy to be talking with you right now this morning. Because I was a bit buzzing. I'm in love. I'm in love with Slot, but I was a bit buzzing. I really like what I saw yesterday. as a matter of fact, we could just start from the man you got you got here, Kelleher. I think he was doing the saving. I think the aspect of goalkeeping, he was doing that. I think it was good. It was well.
Yeah.
But the other aspect that we're gonna need him to be doing, passing and playing a sweeper, it was diabolical shit, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. No,
So it was very. I don't know what was going on. I think it was, again, we're gonna allow it because it's a little bit more new way to play, more risk, also in your mind, especially at the top of the, and when you're playing that style at the top of at the beginning and playing to the back, you are always analyzing passes, because that first pass is everything. So if you mess it up and if you don't make the right decision, it just like you said previously, probably 5-10 minutes ago, you're like, if someone mess up and someone is not good on the ball, that whole system, it just collapse. Yeah. And then you're back on the foot of the other team have superior numbers and then around an area that's very dangerous. Yeah. You know, so he needs to get better at that, especially because Ali, he's not reliable to be playing more than 30 games during the season, and so he needs to get better. And as a matter of fact, I am now more willing not to sell him. I don't care if someone come in with, unless they give me a 50 mil for him, I am not selling. I'm not selling Keller, because there's no time for us to go find a decent a second keeper.
Nah, man, it's funny, man. I said, I know we joked about this on and stream the other day, like a few weeks back, and we were talking about like, you know, who knows, like the manager might come in and he might not want Ali and stuff like that. And what Carl's saying there is true about Ali's not really reliable to play that many games. But it's also interesting because of how many touches the goalkeeper seems to have in this system, and they seem to have quite a lot. In the last couple of games, Keller has had quite a lot of touches on the ball, and he's obviously tasked with kind of starting the build-up play. I find it interesting because clearly you're going to need someone who's superiorly quite comfortable, you know, in possession of the football and can be a bit of a decent passer. I think, and again, just opinion, I think that's going to be something to watch if you start to see in this season that Ali's making too many mistakes. I think Liverpool will then be in a position where it's like, I'm going to have to sign another goalkeeper in the future. Not because Ali's not the number one shot stopper in the world, like he's number one at doing so. But this system doesn't require someone to be the number one shot stopper, from what I can see. We don't need
just like Edison.
And that's why I'm like, again, listen, I'm so intrigued to just see how all of this kind of works out. But I think that's a bit, but I'm with you in terms of the Keller thing. No point. If you sell him now, who the hell are you going to get in to be able to back up? Unless you already
there's no one. And I'm sorry to him. I mean, he deserved it. I think as a player, he deserved to go test his medals to be the number one goalie, the number one goalkeeper somewhere else. But sometimes life doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. I think last year was his best chance of leaving the club. I think after that, apart from the fact that a new goalkeeper comes out or someone from the academy emerges, I don't see him leaving or I think as a matter of fact, I think it might be more feasible to the fact that maybe in 2 years he is the Liverpool goalkeeper, because maybe we might accept Ali might accept the Saudi league, or because I think that's very that's very interesting for a lot of Brazilian players, for a lot of players to go and earn lots of wages out in the Saudi league.
Facts.
Yeah, I think that's more likely for him to stay at the club and become the number one than him leaving and get the number one shirt somewhere else.
No, facts, man, facts.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Tsimikas. Talk to me about his performance, bro. Like, how did you? I know a lot of people in the chat are kind of wilding out in terms of his performance, but
I don't think he had a bad performance. I mean, I think it was just sometimes you watch football, nothing impressive, nothing bad, nothing good, nothing okay. He was just he was there. He did his job.
He did that performance.
He did his job. Yeah. Like there's nothing for me to bash him about, nothing for me to praise him about. I think when he had the ball, he made good decision. When he made bad decision, he was able to get back on recover and again mitigate some of those things. And then I'm like, I'm sure you know, just because as a player you make a bad decision, it doesn't mean right away just because you made that mistake, I'm like, oh, I need to as friend, I need to be on you. Like, you did something bad. Like, football is football. You thought something was gonna go that way, or you chanked it, or you hit it wrong. It happens. If you play football, like it's like, oh man, like especially when what was his name? Bradley. Bradley down the line was supposed to cross to Jota, who was basically wide open. That cross, and then he just hit the goalie. That
was annoying.
Unfortunate. I think one of those, when you look at the video back again, hey, Bradley, that's got to be a goal, man.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons he didn't have his head up, but whatever. But we're talking about Tsimikas. Again, nothing serious to be talking about. Nothing serious to batch about. I think he was okay. He was good. I think if we can't play a Robertson, I think we'll be fine. I would love to get, just like you say, get a new left back. But I think if we have to go through the season with Tsimikas, I wouldn't be too mad about it. I wouldn't be too mad about it.
No, I feel you on that. Big up Christian. He said, I heard Slot didn't really have a preferred number one goalkeeper at Bayern. Like I said, Slot seemed like the type of guy. And this is what I said earlier on, before we started going into this. For Liverpool's thing to work, there are profiles within this system that you can tell they need to be the right profiles. I'm not saying, by the way, he doesn't necessarily have. Maybe the guys coming back are the right profiles. Okay. Of course, we just need to wait.
Sorry to cut you off right here.
No.
I actually think now it's got to be Van Dijk and Kwanzaa as our partnership. Instead of Konate and Van Dijk. To me, it's not that Konate doesn't do it. It's just that's not his preferred style.
Yeah, I heard.
Like sometimes as fan, it was like, oh, if you can't play the ball playing center back, and then you don't have the ball playing center back, and it means that your other center back is bad, is not a player. I think Konate is a very, very good player. He's a very good player, but I just think that part of his game is lacking. The advancing of the ball, the dribbling of the ball, the passing of the ball in between the midfield, or pass from center back to the attackers is missing a lot. And he's basically, I think he's a sideway passer, but I think that's one reason. Kwanzaa, if I'm Kwanzaa, I gotta look at it and be like, man, this is my spot. This is my 100%. Spot. I need to show I need to show the manager, the coach, it's me. We'll see. I think we'll see that on Saturday. So I'm guessing that's Sunday for you guys. But
yes,
I'll see that on Saturday. More likely Konate and will be playing.
That's why I'm very intrigued to see how Konate just looks in this setup. Because again, as he said, we won't really know. But moving on to Sep, I think, you know what, tell me what you thought about Sepp's performance and give me your kind of opinion on this whole Sepp Vandenberg, keep him, don't keep him, whole situation. I'd love to hear what you think.
All right, for the right price, sell him. I think they are right to they are right to ask for more than I think more than 14 million.
I think like 2025, something like that.
Yeah, I think they're right to ask for. I think I will sell them for 20 mil, close to, or even close to that, 18 mil, 19 mil, 20 mil. Yeah, I think for that price, yes, I'll sell them. But if it's not coming, I think he's a good. I think he could be a good cup player. Play the Carabao, play early FA Cup. Match him with Konate around that time, or at those times. I think he's just he's a squad player. I know you probably play FIFA a lot, and then sometimes when you play manager mode, and then you got a promise thing. He's a sporadic squad player.
Type of, yeah.
Like we don't really need to give you game time. We don't really need, like, as soon as we play you here and there, we substitute here and there. Yeah.
But do you think though, like, and by the way, big up everyone, because I know some people say no, keep him, and stuff like that. But I always look at him and think to myself, me and Carl are in agreement. He is a sporadic squad player, as you say, cup games. I don't think he's going to look at it like that, though. Like, obviously, yes. Listen, he has every right to ask what he wants to ask, right?
Yes.
So he's going to look at it and think he needs to go. That's why I say, people, just sell him. Like, if you get, as Carl said, if you get that 18 to 20 mil, whatever it is that, close to that, just sell him. Because I think you then use that for the more important positions. I don't feel like his role in the squad is so important that I need to keep him here. Unless we're going to get a stupid injury list again, and then but listen, we can't plan for those kind of things. I just think you sell players like this, because then, as you say, we can go out and sign. Everyone wants a DM. Guess what? We need to get money from somewhere. We need money from something. So we need to start selling the players that we know realistically Sepp's only going to play. I don't even know how many games in the Carabao Cup, but let's say you get to the final. I think that's 7 games roughly. So you're saying if he's lucky, he's got about 14 games, FA Cup and Carabao Cup, where he's kind of guaranteed. In fact, take away 2 of those because the final he won't play. So you're saying that's about 12 games a season, more or less guaranteed.
From a player who just played 36. From a player who just played 36. Well, isn't it 36 in Bundesliga, right?
Exactly. 36 in the, but like, you're not going to want to do that, man. Like, and especially he's turning, I think, 23 before the end of the year. He's really not trying to just sit on the bench. Yeah,
because I think as fan, we need to realize is that he wants to start earning a lots more by being by being a starter, by being right now he's just not earning his potential from his point of view, from the business aspect of football. He's probably looking at it as, I have the potential, I've done it. I need it, and it's mostly from a financial standpoint, and also maybe for him it's a football thing also, but I think most likely it's a financial thing, because being on the 11 and then just riding the bench, that's different earning potential, and I think after certain points it's no longer about the love of the game. It's about feeding your family, feeding your next generation, especially in football. You have a limited amount of time, and riding the bench for I don't want to say for no reason, in his mind, riding the bench for no reason is not feasible, especially when he is not that young. I think if he was 3 years younger, he would have stayed.
Exactly. If he was this level when we signed him, I guarantee that we wouldn't be looking at it like this. We'd say, no, just keep on the bench, and he's a good enough.
I don't think he himself wouldn't look at it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He would probably look at it as that, you know what, in 3 or 4 years when I'm 23, it's me and Kwanzaa.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. But when you're 23 and in 3 years you're going to be 26.
26. Nah.
I don't think you're going to want to.
Like the earning potential that you are leaving out there. It's it's astronomical. It's too
true.
big. It's too big for you to just leave and to just not try to get a better a better potential, better money potential for yourself.
Nah, factual.
Yeah,
Kwanzaa,
Starboy.
chat to me, man. Starboy, man. I thought that was a good block that he obviously made in the game. But I think listen, Carl said it there already. I'm not going to reveal my team for the start of the season just yet, but if the partnership has to be Van Dijk and Kwanzaa, like in this system, it has to be those.
It has to be those
two players who, him especially, he's better on the ball than Van Dijk. So I think having someone like him next to a Van Dijk, in terms of, when I say better on the ball, I mean you can tell he doesn't mind coming out of the fence. He doesn't mind, even when he gets further up the field, there's no nosebleed settings. He seems calm when he gets further up the field. He seems like he's good in possession. He seems like he can also pick out passes as well. And I don't know if this is going to be the theme. This might just be because we had set playing and Kwanzaa might be better. But if you notice, Kwanzaa was playing more of the long passes as opposed to Sepp. So, but obviously Sepp was on the left. Usually Van Dijk would be there, and he plays the long passes more than the right-sided guy. I don't know if that's just because Van Dijk isn't there, but there was just something I noticed, straight away from the game, man. But chat to us, man. What about Kwanzaa?
Yeah, Kwanzaa is just a great revelation that we find. Kwanzaa has saved us for. It might be an exaggeration. I think Kwanzaa has saved us about 150 mil in the transfer market. Because if we didn't find Kwanzaa, that means that we needed to find two center back at good level and at a great level. And so finding another Van Dijk, fighting I know Calafiori was pretty good transfer money, so it was around 50 mil. But I think Kwanzaa saved us about between 100 to 150 mil in transfer market. But let's talk about the player. I think he's very solid. He does everything with the ball really well. In the game, he made good tackling, good decision. He was physical, which I like, because last year he wasn't. Last year, he was for his statue. I felt like he was being pushed around a little bit, but I think much better. Much better so far from what I've seen from preseason. Especially in the Arsenal game, he was popping on he was just consistently there when something needed to be saved, a defensive action needed to be made. He was consistently there. And yeah, I really like Kwanzaa, and then I understand why. Again, not to bring the old story, but why we didn't spend 50 mil on Lenny Euro. Why? They're pretty much the same player. Why spend that money? Why
Lenny Euro's out for 3 months, so
the reality is true.
It's even more.
You're not lying. You're lying. Well, I did see him on the boot, but 3 months.
3 months. He's out for 3 months.
What's the injury?
Rasmus. I didn't even see it. I'll check it now. Fabrizio put it out. He's out for 3 months. Rasmus Højlund's out for 6 weeks, and they've got Marcus Rashford. That's 3 players. 3 of basically their starters.
Marcus Rashford. He got injured last night. I didn't finish watching him.
He came off.
I watched the soft ass penalty they got. And
was it a good game for me? I didn't see the game.
I saw the first 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes because it was right after the Liverpool game. The first 20 minutes. I saw the Beatties goal around, and then right after that, like a minute or 2 minutes later, they got a penalty, and then he scored a penalty. And then after that, saw the ball kick around, and I'm like, why do I care about Man United?
Yeah, why am I here? You only watch a game, you're like, I don't really care about this. Like, I could be watching anything else.
Yes. So, hey man, like,
it's true.
I think that to me, I'm not wishing injuries on player, but
No, of
if
course
I
not.
have to say, that's Ten Hag karma, man. This
Yeah,
dude, he talks
it's
too much. He says so many
it's so
things.
ironic. It's so ironic that he would
Yeah,
get an
like
injury in this moment for the player that you just signed. But it's crazy. It's actually mad.
yeah.
But Fun United anyway. Connor Bradley. I think Bradley had a tough game against Martinelli. Martinelli was getting him behind a couple of the times. There was like a little bit of, I felt at times between him and Kwanzaa, the communication wasn't always there. Like I'm not saying he was like shit on it, but just at times in those moments that Martinelli was getting him behind, I felt like just.
And I blame Kwanzaa for that. I blame Kwanzaa more for that because that's his job.
I do. But again, what you said about Tsimikas, I feel like it almost applies to Bradley more because I felt like it wasn't good, bad, great, poor. It was literally just you were just there. Like you were just actually just there, but there was nothing great or so rubbish about your performance where I'm like, oh, get him out of the team or he looks rubbish, kind of thing. But what about you?
Yeah, I think this is where the fact that he's young, it gets into it that he needs more game time in order to understand, right? Because a lot of times he will try to press so too much, and then he gets passed by, and then he has to run back. It happened to him multiple times. Again, he's a young player, and he's gonna come up into his game by playing more games, by practicing and by training more. He'll get better. There's nothing to really worry about. To me, he's the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
Because he again, he's the same type of player. He pops out on your screen when you see him play because he's tall, lengthy and slender kind of guy. So he's like every time you see him run, here's Bradley running. And then but the thing is that what I'm happy is that with that naivety, he's always making the right run. And maybe that's not naive, but I'm always happy see him making runs, underlap, overlap. He reads those pretty well. I don't know what's going on with the right side at Liverpool. All those guys are just offensively very astute, very understanding. The difference between their offensive IQ or defensive IQ, it's just night and day. It's like
it's so true, bro.
It's just like, what's going on? There's no one is talking about defense in the academy or something.
But that's the weird thing. I don't know if it's just because they see that right hand side, and obviously the ones growing up like Bradley who've seen Trent and Mo Salah for the last almost 10 years, the last decade, just ripping it up, and the way that they were playing under Jurgen Klopp. But you can just see it. Any person who comes on that right hand side, that's just immediately how they play. And I'm like, it is a bit weird because the left hand side isn't really like that. But hey, maybe it's also just because of the balance of the team and just one of those coincidences. But I think Bradley's one of those.
Yeah, good game. If I had to rate it, it was a 6.5. Nothing to be impressive about. And I think if he made that pass, if he actually crossed that pretty well, that would have been a 7.5, 8 type of game because he obviously got an assist. Again, great run because you could see him. Salah got the ball, and then who made that pass to him? Either Soboslai make it a true bad, make it a true ball, and all of that. I'm like, great instinct to do that, and then I'm just I think at times the right back situation in our club is in good hands. For the next 10 years, it's in good hands. It's in good hands. Like if again Trent gets injured, I'm not that pressed. I'm not that pressed.
I'm not going to be mad if Bradley starts.
I'm like Bradley. We're going to communicate with him. We're gonna hold his hand. But I'm sure after a while during the season, we won't do that anymore. But again, as a player, he's just very quality. I think he's a quality player, and I'm very happy that we find him again. Save us another 25 to 30 million.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Szoboszlai. Now, Szoboszlai obviously
your nemesis, one of your nemesis.
One of my nemesis. Now, okay, so I'm just going to explain it this way, yeah?
Yeah,
so
go
the other
ahead.
day, we spoke about, I think this was on Enza's stream, and I said, we were talking about Szoboszlai, and I said, he's one of the players that I'm going to be interested in watching because I want to know what is his position. I don't think he has a set position within this team. What we've seen in the last 2 games, he's played in the 10 role as one of the 2 10s against Betis. In this game, as you guys can see here, a little bit deeper, not so deep, but he's in an 6/8 position, I'll say, kind of thing. At times, he was dropping a bit deeper than Curtis Jones, etc., etc. This is what I'm saying with him. I don't know what his role within the team is going to be, because the reality is, if Liverpool do 2 things, if we sign another player, another midfielder, whoever that is, plus McAllister comes back into the team, plus you've also got Elliott that people keep telling me they also want to see play. Where does Szoboszlai fit? I think if you had a double pivot, I almost feel he just fits one of the double pivot roles, and then you can still have your other player there, and then you have someone like McAllister further forward where Elliott was basically playing. That's where you'd have McAllister. So Szoboszlai can play in the same position he played in, and then you've got whoever number 17 is, Curtis Jones. That's your new midfielder. That's how I feel Liverpool should go about it, because I just think I want to see the attacking Szoboszlai. I get it, but guess what? Maybe this Szoboszlai is just better for the team, so I'll take that. Of course, that's all I really care about anyway. So I'll take this Szoboszlai moving forward. But let me know how you thought game, but also him in general, man.
All right. Again, not to compare, but this Szoboszlai and the Szoboszlai of club totally different, because the Szoboszlai club was just to be energy. That's all Klopp wanted for him: energy, a pressure, a counter pressing. That's all really Klopp was asking of Szoboszlai, and I think this Szoboszlai it helps his game a lot. It basically what will happen is that, again, I'm projected, is that Szoboszlai will never go like last time. It was like, yo, Szoboszlai was shit. We'll always be like, he's always going to be a player that's a 6 or 7 out of 10, because he's going to be able to create chances, have possibility to score, and at that position that he's playing for slot, and which is very well for him. I think where he is at is perfect. I don't think him as a double pivot is. I think it's a bit wasteful. Again, I'm not disagreeing. I think I see the idea of what you're saying, but I think him being that far back is a bit wasteful. Is a bit wasteful, because I don't think our biggest issue with him is that it's his passing.
I hear it.
Our biggest issue with him is his passing. I don't think he's a bad passer. I think he might be a lazy passer.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm sure you've played with dudes is like all the skill in the world, but just to give you a 10-yard pass, they're trying to be too cute with it.
Yeah.
You know, so I call them lazy passer, man. Every time when I used to play ball, I was like, yo, my guy, I'm right here. Why you just touching the ball?
No, it's true. To be fair, I used to be like that. I'm very lazy. I'm a very lazy passer. That's why I was like, okay, yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. So
at times, I don't want to give that 5-yard pass. Well, it's gonna be a bit cute with it.
I think between him and Elliott, there's a fight for a midfield position. Okay, personally, personally, I will put Szoboszlai in for one reason only. It's the his physical aspect of the game. Yeah, he's statue in the game. He's a 6 feet above 6 feet kind of guy, big. And Elliott, you know, it's not that Elliott is not physical. He's not strong. It just sometimes life, man.
Yeah,
Life life did not give you those gifts. Life
yeah,
did
no, it's
not
true.
life
But you
did
can
not
use
give you
other
those
gifts.
gifts.
You
But
can use other gifts. You can use other
yeah,
gifts.
but again, especially let's say that you're in a 1-1 situation, right? You bring Elliot in, feet are tired. He can do what he did, like the assist that he did for what's his name, Carvalho. He could come and do that, and I think he's a player that we should come in and around 75 minutes of the game we put Elliot. But again, we're talking about Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai, I think where he's playing right now is perfect. And we'll have to see when McAllister comes back into the into the squad. We'll have to see. Yeah, and I'm very interested in what you'll think about Curtis Jones.
Yeah, we're gonna get onto
yeah.
we're gonna get onto that. Big up Social Joins. And just before I read that comment out,
yeah.
First of all, Michael, big up to your damn self. Make sure you subscribe to Michael Talks Football.
Yeah,
the man will tell you I can never ever. Yeah, no. The man will tell you I can never be a Henderson. You know why? I'm too lazy. I can't running around. Well, all of that energy
man,
no. I'm more of the Salah. I'm the selfish Salah type, but I've got way better technique than he does. But I'm the selfish Salah type in terms of I'm not running back. That's your job, Henderson. You run back and you defend that right hand side. I'll worry about the game further forward, and I'll help you guys, to score. You know what, Michael? I'm going to pick a player for you. Who do you remind me of, man? We're going to get into that, man. We're going to get into that. I'm going to think whilst we're talking here.
Yeah,
but man.
Yeah, when I used to play, I play as a right back, but the thing is that I think I wasn't the up and down right back. I was more of the a right back, introverted right back. That did not even exist at that time because because I'm like, it's useless, especially when you play in North American football. They have this idea that because I always like, coach, if I just ran from here to here, right? You can't ask me to run back all the way back. I'm gonna get tired.
Yeah, of course.
So
but
I told him, tell one of the midfielders who's right behind me. He's the one who's got to pick it up. And it's like, no, it's your job. You got to get back in your position. I'm like, all right, cool. But I never did it. I never did it because I'm like, I'm not gonna get there. I'm not gonna get there. And then 30 minutes into the game, I'm already tired. I'm done.
Exactly.
I'm already done playing.
That's the point. I'm trying to. Why would I want to? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Michael, you do not have the techers of a James Ward-Prowse. You are not scoring from corners. Your free kicks ain't on. I cannot wait. One day, Michael, we have to play football. I with all YouTubers, Carl, too, everyone. I want to see all of you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that'd be.
Last year I was in the UK. I play a couple games with some people in the neighborhood, like because I was on vacay. Because I went to watch.
Next time you come to UK, I wanna. I have to see everybody play.
For sure. But let's move on to Curtis.
Chat to me.
Curtis was playing D6. And to tell you the truth, the way Slot has this team playing, I'm like, was he playing the 6? Was he playing an 8? Because at times I saw him way up there. I saw him way up there, like right next to Carvalho at times. In when they are when the ball is moving or when they're moving. So I was very, 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 very confused because again, that's why sometimes you got to stop looking at the still images of what it's supposed to look like and but more watch the football more. I'm like,
to me he had like an indifferent, like when I think about it, you're right. All three of them were, the two of them, Szoboszlai and Jones, because Elliot wasn't really like coming back like that. But Szoboszlai and Jones, it felt like those two were almost swapping between playing in a sole 6, so just one of them obviously being there, and sometimes playing in a double pivot, so both of them in that kind of position. But yeah, you're right, it was never really fixed. Jones maybe I would say would be, if you had to count it by percentage, maybe his percentage would be a bit higher than a Szoboszlai, but I don't think it would be that much. I mean, he had 25 out of 26 passes, so he only misplaced one pass in the game. He was dispossessed twice in the game. He didn't win any tackles.
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh, sorry, he won one tackle, in the game. Yeah. So I felt like he had a very kind of game where you're like, we saw good points, we saw bad points. I basically saw both, best of both worlds with
what was his interception stats?
One interception.
Okay. So again, certain teams you playing, the tackling is not as important to me, especially when you play Arsenal and Man City, because it's going to be very difficult because they make well-timed pass. They understand how they want to play with each other. The ball moves faster, so I don't expect that especially from a player who is not a DM. I think I want to see more interception, more of reading the game and understanding what the other team is trying to do. I think let's just put it out there. He had a good game. Considering that he was pulled out last game, I was very happy to the fact that he was able to quickly play. He played a nice 45 minutes. He didn't look uncomfortable. He looks relaxed. He made passes. He made a lot of passes. Again, I don't remember too much of what he did because I think as a DM, when you're playing that deep, sometimes you become just a connector, and then no one is really seeing what you're doing unless you're tackling, unless you're intercepting lots of balls, unless you're destroying plays a lot. No one is really gonna see what you did in the game, and I don't think he popped out too much on my screen. But again, that's also a good thing. That also means that he didn't make a lot of mistakes. He didn't make too many mistakes. I think especially on defense, it was him and Szoboszlai side to side, parallel to each other. So like it's I think. Again, let's talk about a little bit of formation, right? I think in when we were defending, I think we were defending around a 4-2-4 type of thing. For some reason, I think that's how I saw it at times when we're defending. I could be wrong, but it felt that way because Elliott will pressure, will try to counter pressure ahead of them. And both Szoboszlai and Jones will try to read or try to make the midfielders to pass the ball backward again by pressuring them. It can
picture,
right?
Definitely.
You see a 4-2, and then that's Jota being trying to grab the ball from a deep position. So you could kind of see, right? So and then it becomes a 2-4 something here. It becomes a 2-4-2. It becomes a 2-4-2 something. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because we always want to build up. I feel with the two, so the two centre halves kind of. That's what, and then obviously the goalkeeper comes in to be a third centre half kind of thing. I'm just looking now. 2-4, like a 2-4-4. Yeah, because 4-4-2. Yeah, it's like a 2-4-4. Effectively, I always feel kind of thing. And obviously, you've got the attacking four in front of that. I always feel like those guys. It will just depend on who's there, really. So if it's Carvalho maybe in one position, Jota obviously was playing, Salah obviously out there on the right, even Salah coming back to kind of defend. What I like about this though, when you see obviously Keller's the one who's got the ball.
Yes,
with something like this. It's about movement, because if you obviously this is a still image, right? And I know obviously the players move.
Yeah.
The only pass he actually has on is Sepp van den Berg to his left. If everybody shifts and moves, though, you create the angles. All of a sudden, Kwanzaa, you push out to the right. All of a sudden, I think that's Jones in that kind of little triangle. He can then move into a pocket of space to then receive the ball. That's all I wanted to see, kind of from Liverpool moving forward. That's all I wanted to see, is that are we moving off the ball enough? Because I felt like we're quite static at times with Klopp towards the end, is that we only make those runs when we're like the goal that we scored. That's the only time you really see players really moving. I'm like, no, I want to see these movements here, because you create the triangles, you create the angles. Guess what? You create the goal, and that's how we can, you know what I mean, we can move as a team. But yeah, no, I think with Jones, this is what I said. Right profile, you can. I think you upgrade if you're going to play Jones in a 6. You can upgrade on that type of player and get a better player at doing so. If you get that better player, whoever that is, if you get that player, I think it looks different. All of a sudden, now you're going to be building up almost in a completely different way, because I feel you will have someone who's a bit more comfortable with his back facing the goal. I'm not 100% confident in Jones when he's facing our goal. At times, I feel because your natural nature is to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, like he lost the ball on the left once. Yeah. Because he was too relaxed. He was a bit too relaxed.
Which is a good thing at times, because it means you're quite composed. But that's your nature now. So I know you're just a relaxed player. So
as a DM, you gotta have that clock in your head. Don't have time for the ball. Don't have time for the ball. Don't have time with the ball. Again, play a good game. Nothing to complain about. Nothing to really complain about.
Nah, man, bats. Elioto, El Nino,
and player of the game. Definitely player of the game. Again, I do think there's a fight between him and Szoboszlai to be the starter. I'll give Szoboszlai the edge just because of a physical stature. But the thing is, if Szoboszlai is doing dog shit out there in a game, just put him in. Just put him in. And I really like Szoboszlai. I really like Szoboszlai. I love both players. They both do different things. They impact the game in different ways. But again, I'm very happy. He's coming out. He's a very, very, very good player. And again, the academy on the club just save us a lot of money buying midfielders in the future. For the next 5 to 7 years, we don't have to necessarily spend that much in the midfield. And I'm saying it's just that maybe a player here and there every 2 or 3 years. I don't think we necessarily need to buy midfielders. If we can find a DM, we don't really need to buy center attacking mid. We don't really need that, because I think we're set for the next 5 years, 5 or 6 years. Maybe here and there. Don't really need to.
No, I agree.
I really like him. It's a 10 out of 10 performance. He pressure well. It's the only thing I'll complain about is the fact that he had Salah to his side and he tried to cut it back for a shot. I think that needs to.
It's a decision making.
He needs to understand. He needs to understand an assist is as good as a goal for a center mid. He don't need to score. You don't need to score all of them all the time. Like, just because you have the opportunity to score doesn't mean it's your opportunity to score. I think that's something he needs to understand, and I think that's just youth. Is like, oh fuck, I have a chance here to make a shot, while he could have just laid out to Salah and let Salah miss the goal.
Yeah, no. I think it's just the decision making. I think that for me was the only thing I didn't negative, so to speak, with his game. Just at times your decision making, you're taking a shot, your right foot is non-existent. I think you should not worry about that so much. And I think start to learn that if your right foot is non-existent, and I don't see it getting that much better just because I'm left-footed, I understand the mechanics behind it. You're not going to get any better at that. I would just perfect your left foot and your angles in the way that you're trying to do things. So receiving the ball and stuff like that, receive it in a way that which will then allow for you to do whatever. Taking those shots. I'm not saying he can't shoot ever with his right foot, but there are going to be moments where I'm like, what I saw, I'm like, bro, pass the ball. As you said, an assist is like a goal, bro. Just pass it. We get a goal.
He had an opportunity to shoot it. He took. He decided to control it. He decided to control it. The moment that you decided to make a touch, to take a touch on that one, you got to pass it. Because
exactly.
What you've allowed now is you've allowed the defender to be part of the picture by just taking a touch, and then you got to take him out of the picture by passing the ball. And again,
and I felt like that was always going to be like the kind of issue.
Solid game from Elliott. Nothing to really complain about. It was just a good game. I'm happy with the how preseason is going for him. Not very impressive in a sense of that it's a continuation of what he did last year. It doesn't feel like there is a drop back or a return to the mean, so to speak. He looks like he's developing into a good player. How old is he right now? Still about to be 21, 22?
Yeah, I feel like he's about to be 21. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
21, yeah. So I'm very, 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 very satisfied, very happy with his progression.
Yeah, 21.
21? Yeah, so a good player. He's an example of a midfielder or attacking mid or wide player that the academy needs to continue to profile and develop at Liverpool. I'm very happy, and I wish if he was 2 inches taller, man. That dude would have been one of the best young midfielders in the world. I think that's how much talent I think.
But okay. Yeah. I agree with you in the sense of just in terms of like profile and stuff like that. But I also think that, like I said, perfect the fact that you are this short. Iniesta was never tall, so you got a way that, and I know that's a wild example, but just in terms of players can be that kind of size, but you use that to your advantage. So, like I said, learn the game in a different way and learn how you can navigate. Because I think Elliott seems like a player. You're right. Him and Zobo, for me, are fighting for one place. So whoever gets it, obviously Slot will
play him. Yeah,
decide on that one. Carvalho. Obviously, he's been talking the talk. Wants to play number 10. He thinks he's a number 10. That's his best position.
To tell the truth, he kind of low key made his case to be a number 10. But
is he making a case of number 10 or a left winger? Because that's the position that he's playing right now.
Look, right now he's playing a wing. But at times when he was playing that top of the box, he would turn defender around,
like, for example.
In the goal, for example, like there was a case there for him for him to be there. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, no, do you think? But no, I totally agree. When it comes to Carvalho, man. It's a weird one with him. Honestly, it's a weird one because obviously he's playing in that kind of, would we say, somewhat Coutinho-ish kind of position, where it's like you're in the half space. So you're wing, but as you guys can see with his heat map, he's wing, but he's got the license to be able to, go into the middle of the park, in that attacking midfield position. So if we're looking at it, like that,
yes,
that's where I'm like, okay, fair enough. If he doesn't, again, just like Sepp Vandenberg, if you don't mind the role that's given to you, I've got no problem with keeping these guys if they do not care about the role that you're giving them, which is, okay, you're not going to start ahead of whoever else we've got in these positions, but when you do play, you can play here, then I've got no problem. Keep these players. Heck, I don't care. Keep them. But I don't think he's going to look at it like that. Again, he's another one that I think he's not going to want to spend another 6 months sitting on Liverpool's bench, not playing when he's just come off.
I agree
games again.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I
mean? For lack of a better term, let's talk transfer for a bit. If we do get another left winger, whether that's Gordon or someone else or another attacker, I think if we're not going to sell him, I think his transfer value right now is very low. We did buy him.
How much do you think you get for him? How much do you get for him?
I think right now we could get 10 to 15 mil for him.
I thought we can get more than that.
No. Right now, I think that's the starting price right now. but
Okay.
he's a player of bigger value. I think he's a player of closer to 30 mil, 20 to between 20 to 30 mil. I think he has that kind of value. But if a team is coming to try to buy him, they'll probably start around 10 to 15 because he bad loan spell at RB. Hall, it was good. It was okay. I think if we get another attacker in the squad, just loan him back out there in the championship, find someone else or someone else in the Premier League to get him play time. Maybe an Ipswich. No, okay, let's not do that to him. That's a that wouldn't be good for his development. He needs a Fulham or Bournemouth type of team.
Okay.
Instead of Ipswich, Ipswich, even Southampton. I think maybe Southampton. It wouldn't be too bad because I like the football that they play at Southampton. I think certain teams, like if you play for what's that? Not Nottingham. What was this? What was the squad that came last year and it was small? Yes. If you play a team like that, that's not good.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I get. But you know what it is? I think okay. No, the reason why I say but is just because I feel like with someone like him, I agree with you. I know the teams that you're naming. I get why you're naming those type of teams because they're the teams who we look at, and it's more they play a bit more football, which might suit his style of play.
Yeah.
But I also think for him, what is going to be vitally important is about you need games though. Yeah. It's great if you can get into a team that plays. If we can give you both, which is Southampton, get games and get the style of play, I'm all for it. Like I've got no problem with that. But if we can't, we have to prioritize games over the style of play, and you're just gonna have to within that because you're gonna still play, so you're gonna still be able to showcase your talents anyway. And it's not necessarily about. I'm not expecting you to go on loan and get 20 assists at Southampton. I just need to know that when you go on loan, you at least are developing in some way, shape, or form, whatever that is. Are you developing as a player? Obviously, if you can get 10 assists, that's great. But if not, are you developing other areas of your game? Then I'm kind of good with it. But listen, I think me personally, I'd loan him out again. I just don't feel like we have a use for him in the squad.
Yeah, he's a prime loaner. I think you want to loan him to a top team in championship. Maybe a bottom 8 team in the Premier League, a team that might need an attacker. Bournemouth, I don't know if they do need him.
Exactly.
Pretty stacked there. Maybe a Southampton. I think a Southampton. I didn't watch too much of Ipswich. Maybe
Ipswich play good football. This is what I said.
I don't know much about the football. Leicester could be good for him. I'll probably loan him to Leeds, Coventry, if possible, or even back to Hull again, if that's possible, if that's something they want him. I don't think there is space for him in this squad to be playing consistent, playing consistently, or at the top, or maybe at the beginning of the season he might see a part of the field, but after that, after August, I don't think I will ever play him unless maybe cup finals, a cup run maybe. But even that, no. I like he's showing me something. Not too much, nothing to be impressed about, nothing to be too happy about. I actually think he was a better revelation when he first got into the club than now.
Yes.
I think his performance
his stock was starting to fall.
Yes. I think his stock is falling, but it's a great stock to buy. You understand what I'm saying? If you understand a stock buying, like he's like, that thing is falling, but it's worth more than what it is right now, and I'll buy it and then and just wait for it to sell it. I think he's one of those players that where we just got to rehabilitate and sell for a profit. I wish he could, but again,
I hear it. I hear it. Mo Salah, man, my guy, got another goal. Showed his pace.
Really good goal.
But you know,
Really good goal. Really good goal.
yeah, no, it was a good goal. Good
Really, really
finish,
nice
man.
goal.
Good finish.
Very good finish. Very good finish. Just like you said
Yeah.
at the beginning, Zinchenko is just in the mud.
Yes, he's totally.
But the thing is, a not to bring the other club that we were playing, they were saying, "Oh, it's because Zinchenko is slow." Because I'm looking at that goal, whether it was Timber or Calafiori, it's still happening. I'm not saying 100% it's going to be a goal, but what happened to Zinchenko would have happened to them because it was a through ball. Salah just running. Maybe it would have been a little bit more difficult because the others can run a little bit better. But in terms of a style of the goal, the play, the intricate play that happened to create that goal, I think it doesn't matter what kind of defender you have, it would have still happened. Maybe a little bit better recovery, but I don't see the idea that it's just Zinchenko's fault because he can't run.
No, 100%. I don't think.
Run. Like I don't see it that way.
Yeah, no, I agree.
don't view it that way because the way to go, it's not like Salah pass him with the ball. It was a ball.
He also still had to worry about Gabriel. Gabriel came, running across, and Gabriel, you could see because Salah was clever that he ran in front of him. He knew that two things are going to happen: either he gets in front of me, or
he fouls. That's a red.
Yeah, it's a red.
Fouls. That's a red.
Yeah. Exactly. So listen. Other than that, though, I think Salah was just calm.
Yeah, it was just okay. I think he was being a veteran in preseason. I don't need to do too much. I don't need to be too much. It's not that important. It's not that serious. I just need to take my chance when it happens. What I do think, I do want to see him making decision quicker to pass the ball.
Yes,
making decision quicker to pass the ball. But he's trying a lot of passes, a lot of outside curve passing to players.
There was one that he did. Ooh, that was really good.
Yeah. But I think Gabriel read it properly.
Yeah.
But again, he's just been a veteran playing preseason and nothing to be super ecstatic about. But again, he's doing a job. Man is doing his job, and I'm happy that he's staying at the club. I'm not sure he deserves another contract.
Let's wait. Let's wait.
But if he does get one, I'm not mad at it. I'm not
okay.
I'm not
At least get one.
I'm not mad at it.
you know what I mean? Like let's wait and see on that one. But last player, obviously, we'll take a look at before we head out, guys. Diogo Jota, man. How do you think? Obviously, his first game back. After the Euros and stuff like that, his header was the reason why Elliott was able to play that pass into Salah in the first place. Obviously missed that chance, which I said earlier on before you came on. I said, Liverpool forwards, like that's like a typical miss. Yes. We love to like that finish didn't even surprise me. Like I didn't. If Kane or Haaland did that, I'd be surprised. But the fact that they did, I was like, yeah. I don't know. There was just something in it, man. It was just.
And then the funny part, he could have chipped him. He could have passed it
so many different things,
to Carvalho because Carvalho was like, "Yo, my guy, I was right there." And there was so many. He chose the hardest way to score that goal.
Yes,
he chose the hardest way to score. I think he's the worst of the player that played on that day.
Okay, yeah, I heard.
Again, that's not harsh because it wasn't bad. It wasn't like I'm disgusted about his play. I just think that he was the worst player out of all the good that happens on that game. I think he lost the ball too easily, a little bit too easily. He was dispossessed too quick. He missed off a link up play, missed the goal. I think the best thing he did was the header, and then and which contributed to a goal. I think that was his best action in the football game. and then after that he didn't score. I think a first game back will allow it. Not only allow it, we'll let it. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Because
no, it's not.
First
I'm
game,
not stressing.
it's preseason, cobwebs.
And he's more. I rely I'm more confident in his finishing ability than others. Whereas others, if they were to do that, I'm like, this is too normal.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But guys, obviously, that's the team. I'm not going to really run through the subs and stuff like that. I think the subs,
that way too much.
There was even some I didn't even realize.
I don't know much of them apart from Doak.
Yeah, Doak obviously
Trey
coming
Neone.
on. Yeah, Trey Neone.
And then Phillips. After that, I don't know much of the others. I don't know much of the others. The Stevenson guy.
He's interesting though. He's actually one I was like, that's mad that they decided to include him in this tour, and he's playing quite a bit of game. Well, he's coming on off the bench and stuff like. I didn't think he would have made it to this tour, but maybe because we don't have many players because they're all away, he had to bring more players in anyway. I would have been very interested to see next season. Well, that's next season. The players that he does bring in terms of the youth players. I think you'll get a better idea as to the ones he really likes the look of. But man, I think
so far from what I've seen, I don't know how old is he. I think his future is away from the club. If I had to say right now, sometimes you could be like, oh, this player has a future in the club, maybe in the bench, because of what's happening in front of him.
He's 20 years of age.
20 years of age. Yeah. His future is away from the club. I'm very sorry for him. Unless again, magically he becomes very good, very good.
He would need to really hope. Like some players, like I feel like Kwanzaa has fallen into that. Like Kwanzaa has got like in a space of a year, Kwanzaa got really, really good. But also in that time, by the time he got to a level, in that time, Liverpool had crazy injuries. So you were able to come in and there was a gap for you. And then it's like everything just met all in one. You got good, there was space, we were able to meet. I feel like that Stevenson guy, he's going to need that. He needs to get good, pray that someone gets injured. There's a space for you. I can get into the team. Yeah. And like Bradley, because obviously we saw Trent getting injured. If Trent never got injured, we don't see Bradley.
We don't see Bradley.
You know what I mean? So, and again, Bradley got good, got to a level where it's like, I can still play. And then Trent got injured. Now we have to play. So
now we have to. Yeah. Before you head out.
No.
A couple questions. Because of what happened to Curtis Jones today, it is not far-fetched that Bradley start and Trent is now playing that 6 where it is. It's not far-fetched because of the way he plays. It's not far-fetched. Whether it's Trent or McAllister, whoever they choose, it's not. But I feel like it'll be more Trent if they had to choose. It's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched, and I'm like, maybe that's why we're not out here buying, because it's very confusing. It's very confusing because the more we play, the more things now. I'm like, maybe that's why the club is not out here buying a DM.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
It's not necessary because we don't need a DM. It's because they are out here experimenting.
Yeah. So to them, in their eyes, they might just look at it and think, do I need to really sign? Listen, like I said, we'll talk about
that. It's
very confusing. That's just typical Liverpool. Big up, Christian. I'm going to run through a couple of the questions, guys, and then we will be heading out. Do you reckon Mbeumo would be a great signing for Liverpool? I'm not going to lie, I would get behind that. What do you think about Mbeumo for Liverpool? Would you sign him?
To tell the truth, in the Premier League, in the Premier League market, just the English club. To me, the only player I'm actually interested in buying. Only 2 players I'm interested in. If I had the power to do, is Kudus and Isak.
Okay,
those are in terms of attacking. Those are the only 2 players I'm if they are available, or if I could, I'll just pluck them out of Newcastle. To me, those are the only 2 players. And Bueno, he's just meaty. Like,
You know?
yeah, like I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna change our life. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. But I do think Isak and Kudus can change our a Liverpool trajectory.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, in terms of play style, in terms of imagine having Isak as a striker, man. Oof.
Oh, I've already said it though. This is why you need,
especially in that system, system we're playing, man. He'll get. I'm not saying he'll get lots of goals, but he'll be a nice 20 and 10, 20 and 12 player. 20 goals and 12 assists, a type of striker, because of the way he plays.
No, I agree. I've said it 100 times. Isak is literally the guy that I mean, like, he is the player that I would love to have as a striker in this football team. Like, I can't say otherwise. He's one of the best finishers in the league, and I think with the way that we're playing now, with the way that I feel we're starting to create chances, hopefully anyway, you need someone who is a penalty box king. He is the guy for me to go. Yeah, he is feasible guy anyway, obviously, to go out there.
Yeah,
and do that.
Yeah, I do think our attacking needs more speed. We need speed there. We need to find a player that can actually run fast. I think Gakpo his acceleration needs more given. He takes too much time to rev up the engine.
No, I agree.
And then I think Diaz is more quick than fast. So we need a little bit more speed there. And I think that's what Kudus will bring to the squad: speed, and a little bit of a bit of playmaking.
No,
that we need. Yeah,
I agree with that. Big up Tom Mizzy. This is the last question, and then of course, guys, we'll head out. And again, much love and appreciation for everybody who's obviously been locked in, both me and Carl.
Good job to the chat.
No, 100%, man. Besides Grav's indifferent start in his first season, do you reckon our number 2 Heitinger is more than convinced that he'll do a good job and contribute? The fact that he oversees Gravenberch's development back, or he oversaw Gravenberch's development back.
Yes, Heitinger is one of our coaches this year, right?
Yeah.
I don't know much about the backroom staff. Tell you truth, again, here's another player. If he step up, he could be playing that deep line, playmaking that 6 that.
Do you think he can play that role? Like, would you trust him in that role?
Again, I wouldn't trust him, but
I guess you have to see it.
He's a player that when you look at him, he's like, yo, you got all the talent, my guy. You got everything. You could do everything with the ball. Everything with the ball. I sometimes, again, don't want to call out someone's want, need, passion. I sometimes feel like he's not that passionate about football. It sometimes feel like it's one of those things I'm really good at. You've met people like that, right? He's like, no,
because they're just good at this. It's like they don't try at other. I get what you mean.
They don't try as hard. It feels that way. And then again, I don't like saying things like that about people because you don't know them. You don't know them. You don't know their circumstances. You don't know them, and you don't know what's happening around them that makes them that way, or what's the instruction they're receiving, right? So I think Gravenberch, if you just again don't know him, if you just decided to be, you know what, I'm gonna be that football player, I think we got our 6. If he decided one day I'm gonna be that player, because he's that good with the ball, passing the ball. I think he has the ability. I just don't know if he can do it based on what I've seen so far. But again, based on his talent, his profile, that's him right there. I think at times he runs a bit lazy. Again, at times he's a bit lazy. In pressuring, in playing defense. I don't know. That's what I'm reluctant of saying he's the option. But I think if he just pushed, he would have done it. He could have been it. I know you don't like him. I know you
No,
don't
no, no,
like.
no, 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 no. Listen, it's not even that I don't like him. I'm just starting to look at him and I'm just thinking, as you said, he's in the Zabozalai position of you don't have a role, like you don't have a set position, but you're further down the pecking order than a Zabozalai. At least Zabozalai is a first team player. You're not a first team player. So I'm like, where do you fit in? Is this just one of those deals that you did because you could do it? Because if so, I'd rather you'd have not signed someone like him and just get more of a specialist in DM or whatever position that you wanted. Because
He
I
can
don't
play
feel like
all three positions in the midfield. All three
yeah,
positions.
it's like he can play. Listen, maybe on the slot it will be different with him, and we need to. I need to obviously just wait and see what does he look like in these
On the slot.
positions first
Yeah.
before I really make a judgment. At the moment, it looks like Liverpool might potentially even want to sign someone anyway. But then I don't know because, as you said, we're trying Endo in there, Curtis Jones in there, Zabozalai in there. Like we seem to just be trying all of these things. What's to say that we don't try? We've got 2 more games left before the season. I can see Gravenberch playing in one of these games. I can see him playing in that position in one of these games just to see, how he is, and then taking it from there.
And then again, just like we've been talking about, a slots, a game plan and tactic suits midfielders a lot, especially ball playing midfielders, and we have a lot of those in the squad, and maybe again when we're comparing to comparing it to Klopp basically said, if we could play football without a midfield, I would. Because some of the stuff he gets those dudes to be doing, I'm not saying it's criminal, but it's a bit like
it
if
was
you're
criminal.
football,
It was
again.
criminal.
Praise to him. He's a great coach. He's a great coach, one of the best in the world, one of the best coaches of all time. But some of his some of his philosophy about the game at times can be a little bit very hard on a midfielder, because he just had them doing all defensive work most of the time.
Yeah, they never got to showcase their real skills.
No,
they never got to showcase that.
So, never had to do it. Never had to do it. So maybe this year again, it's all based on him. It's always based on your want and need and your desire to do good things, to do great things for the squad, and for the team, for the badge. It's just that you just, again, his profile, his tattoo. Again, people might think that I'm a physical merchant. I like big, tall players. It's not it. I think for certain position in the field, you need that kind of physical ability, and sometimes sometimes the game is just you just taller and you're just bigger than everybody, and that size just give you an advantage. And then I think a 6'2" dude, big, strong, and can play the ball and can move, it's very attractive, and that's where football is going. And
one player who I would love to see in this type of system, who I think would suit us, would have been remember Diaby used to play for Arsenal, tall, black.
Okay, I'm kind of seeing, yeah.
Him, I feel like someone like him actually would have been really, really good in a system like this, because defensively, I thought he was sound. Not the greatest defensively, but he was just sound enough. But he was so good, and he had that Yaya Toure about him in terms of when he runs with the ball, you're not really knocking him off. Like, it's so difficult to get the ball off of him. Obviously, perfect would be a Yaya Toure. But if I'm just saying, looking away from someone like that, it would have been someone like a Diaby. I think
Gravenberch have that kind of
he looks like he has that in his
game. But the thing is that I think the 2 times we saw this was in the Europa. We saw that aspect of his game, and against Man City, the first time we tie them in at the Etihad, we saw that aspect of his game. To me, as I can remember, was the 2 times that we saw that. And then after that, it's just too inconsistent. But again, that could be Klopp tactic. And I think right now, so far, what I've done is in my viewing of Slot and the new coach is that everybody get a clean slate. Everybody get a clean slate to show me and to tell me how they're gonna play in this new system. And I don't. I wish him well. Again, very tidy player, man. I really like him.
Nah, man. I hear it. Guys, we're going to draw to a close. Big up everybody who has joined me, as I've mentioned before, this morning. Love to Carl for obviously jumping on the match reaction today as well, by the way, man. It's a big help as well. We got the conversation
no problem, man. No problem. I was having trouble sleeping because the heat is pumping, man.
But I can imagine you lot must be crazy because here it's hot. I can't sleep. These last couple of days.
My AC is not functioning to the optimal. It's blowing air, but it's very meaty. I probably need to call someone to, because I'm blasting it at 18 degrees and it's still not blowing up enough air for me. So I probably have to call someone to come check that out today.
Nah, make sure you do that, man. K-Max asking a question. Sepp and Kwanzaa could play at least 5 games together. Does this make them our backup centre-back pair?
Nah.
If that's the centre-back, if he goes with Konate, then yeah. If he doesn't and he goes with Kwanzaa, then it's going to be Konate and Sepp Vandenberg. But yeah, I don't know.
To me, the backup is Konate and Sepp. Or not even that. I think the backup is Konate and Kwanzaa. I think there'll be a rotation of Virgil, Konate, Kwanzaa, and then if we sell Gomez, I think that'll be our rotation. Konate, Sepp, and Kwanzaa, and but if we keep Gomez, it'll probably be either Konate and Gomez or Gomez and Kwanzaa. But I do think that personally, I'll make the decision of if I was the coach. I think after Manchester United, I would solidify my saying it's Kwanzaa and Virgil, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's still Konate and Virgil. But again, personally, it's Virgil and Kwanzaa.
Guess we'll have to wait and see, guys. As I said, I will be back. I'll probably do another live tomorrow anyway. So just make sure you keep your notification bells on. Big up Moshin and Carl, by the way. Much love and appreciation, bro, for the super chat.
No problem, man. Anytime.
So yeah, guys, make sure you keep notification bells on. You will be redirected to Never Foul. They're live streaming now. Please go and cook all the Arsenal guys on there.
Those guys are outrageously funny.
But this is it. So make sure you cook all of the Arsenal guys on there. I know the Arsenal guys are rattled. They're feeling as if like it's only just a friendly, but we all know that if they were to have beaten us in that game, they would have been talking like they were about to win the quadruple. So guys,
allow me 10 seconds to say this.
Yeah, go on. Say it.
The Arsenal fan or Cowboys fan, if you know, you know. They are the worst fan I've ever seen or have the privilege to talk to. These men will violate your ears with rubbish. Violate your ears with rubbish. Every time they do something good, it's the greatest thing. Every time something bad happened to them or unfortunate situation they lose, it's not that important. We were not that worried. It's okay. Nothing ever changed. There's never any consequence to their action or to what happened to them in terms of football. And I just can't stand these dudes, man. Like, I'm supposed to hate Manchester United. I don't have that kind of hate for them. I'm just like
Arsenal fans talk a lot.
They talk too much. They chat too much in my ears, bro. And then this year, if they don't win the Premier League, they'll never win the Premier League.
We're gonna end up.
I'm not saying ever, but during this era, they'll never do it.
During this little era, Carl said
they'll never do it.
If they don't win the Premier League this season, they ain't never winning it. Guys, we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, peace.